Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and welcome to this year's best of non-makeup products edition. So we're going to be talking fragrance, we're going to be talking hair products, skincare products, nail products, basically everything that is not makeup. You get the idea. So let's get started. The first couple of products I want to talk about are hair styling products. My number one cannot live without that way around. This is the new Living Proof Advanced Clean Dry Shampoo, my favourite dry shampoo of all time. And it's not just because it smells delightful, which is important. I mean, I live with this stuff in my hair like 6 days out of 7, so it's important to me that it smells nice. But the thing about this one is, over all of the others, is it literally actually does clean your hair. And the effect lasts, which is what kind of separates it for me from like every other dry shampoo, is that I don't have to use it every day. You know, I'll maybe use this on like the 3rd day after I've washed my hair, and it will freshen up my hair. It keeps the hairstyle, it keeps my body, and it just smells delightful without leaving a huge amount of residue or anything that feels heavy and like weighty on my hair. This feels like there's nothing in my hair. My hair actually feels silky and soft and light still without having that heavy weighed down, you know, it's 3 days since you washed your hair feeling. But it stays clean. I don't have to keep on using it, keep on applying more and more and more to the hair, because you use it once and that's going to last you a couple of days still feeling refreshed and clean, although it's a lie. The other kind of hair styling product that I found this year that I absolutely love is the Ouai Volumising hairspray. I talked about both of these products, I think, in like a hair related video at some point. Maybe it was a monthly favorites. This is like my go-to when I'm using my air wrap. It's my final step. I'll go through and just spray this like in the roots of my hair and give it a bit of a zhuzh, and it just gives me like twice as much volume as was there before, but it's not super like hard. It doesn't like make your hair really hard. It doesn't feel like you've got really stiff roots then. I just will spray it throughout like the top of my hair, all around the roots, and it just kind of keeps that body and that volume that I love. And the smell of this one is like, it's like a perfume. That's how nice it is. Delightful. While we're talking about hair, let's talk about my favourite hair care product this year as opposed to styling. This is like changed my hair even more. I love all of the Olaplex products that I've tried, but number 6 is probably the one that like makes the single most amount of difference, and it just suits me and my kind of routine the most, because this is like a leave-in treatment. I like number 3 and I appreciate what it does to my hair. Shampoo and conditioner is amazing for my hair, but it's not exactly that exciting. It's shampoo and conditioner, you know? But the number 6, I will just plop this, a dollop, great words today, plop a dollop of this in my pore after I've washed my hair, and it just, I think when I think of leave-in treatments and conditioners, I think it's weighing my hair down. I'm gonna have to wash my hair sooner than I would have if I hadn't put anything in it. This does none of that. It stays light, it stays healthy feeling, it doesn't feel weighed down, you can't feel there's product in your hair, and it just makes my hair feel like 100 years younger. At least. It feels light, fluffy, healthy. My ends look so much better than they did before I started using this. And I use this also on my daughter's hair because she has a sort of wavier hair type than me. Her hair can get quite dry as well because, I mean, she's a child, so she's constantly running around. She's swimming all the time. She does a lot of stuff that's bad for the hair. Her hair is a constant tangled nightmare, to be honest. And it's very fine. So when I put a tiniest little bit of this in her hair after we've washed it, or just dry when it's looking like it's, you know, needs some moisturizer, and this just turns her hair into an absolute golden dream. So yeah, this is just the number 1 product I would recommend starting. If you want to try some Olaplex, start with number 6. So I have 2 fragrances to share with you that I discovered that were new to me this year. I'm going to start off with my favorite spring and summer perfume ever, and it's Xerjoff Decas. Now, I discovered this, I think it was in summertime, and it was just, it changed the game for me, because it was the first ever perfume that is my kind of notes, my type of perfume that was actually wearable in like hot summer's days. A lot of the fragrances I wear, they are too heavy, they're too spicy, too warm, they become too cloying in hot summer weather, and they're just not wearable. They're too much. A lot of them are too much. So what I've been doing is kind of purchasing fragrances that aren't really my preference of notes, or they're not really my type of fragrance, but they kind of tick the summer fragrance box because they're lighter. Maybe they're a floral or just something a bit fresher, a more citrusy fragrance, because that's typically what people can wear and suggest are more summer appropriate fragrances. When I found Decas, I finally found a fragrance that is me, that is my preference. It has tobacco in there, there's amber in there, it's resiny, it's got bourbon vanilla in there, it's musky, but it just has that little lightness to it that makes it more wearable in the summer. And finally, I can smell the way I want to smell, the fragrance, wear the fragrance that I enjoy and that I love, and the notes that I love on me, but I can wear it without worrying about it in summer hot weather and just lovely summer's days. So yeah, this was a revelation for me this year. My absolute all-time favorite summer scent ever. It's fun. And now for my favourite winter, cooler weather fragrance that has been, again, a revelation to me. And this is Guerlain's Spiriteuse Double Vanille. Yes, I did take French GCSE. Got a B. Much to my French teacher's malign because she hated me. But that's a story for another day. Well, I mean, this is a more Charlotte typical type of fragrance. It's so boozy vanilla, and yes, it's a vanilla scent, which typically I like vanilla notes in my fragrances, but I steer away from a vanilla perfume, a vanilla, like the base of a scent being fully vanilla. Typically, I don't steer towards. This is just so different for me. It's smoky, sexy, there's something boozy about it. It's just my type of fragrance. It's spicy, it's unique, it's got great performance. Both of these fragrances have amazing performance, I should say that. This one is just so warming. Like, I can spray this on and I feel like I've lit the fire. That's how it feels to me. It's just gorgeous. It's very classy and sophisticated smelling, and the bottle and getting to personalize the whole bottle, I talked about this in my haul when I purchased it, was just dreamy. A delight. Next, let's talk about my favorite brush set of the year, and it's Sonia G's Fusion series. This was a revelation for me, and now that we've had a lot of revelations this year, now I was close to choosing the Lotus set because that is just as incredible as this for different reasons. One of my all-time favorite brushes in that set that I absolutely love for my blush. I also love the base brush in there, but I feel like the Fusion series was like game-changing for not just me, for everybody, for the brush world, the brush community, because finally we had incredible options, Sonia G brushes for creams and liquids, which is what we've been screaming out for. My all-time favorite foundation brush is in this set. My all-time favorite concealer brush, in fact both of these concealer brushes are incredible. This brush, this is the what's she called, the classic base, has like changed my mind on like several cream blushes this year, and just cream products in general, because it applies them so easily without disturbing anything underneath. This whole set really just filled a gap for so many of us that I had to pick this one as being my number one brushes of the year. They're just a necessity, and I feel like they were something that all of us needed and didn't necessarily realize we didn't have until they came along. Next up, a skincare product. Now, I rarely talk about that much skincare on my channel. One, because it's not something that I'm an expert in or I especially know about. It's something that I kind of feel like should be left to the experts, people who know a lot about the ingredients and the efficacy of everything, and that's why I don't do a lot of skincare videos on my channel. Also, they tank every time. So that's reason number 2. But I do get sent a lot of skincare, and therefore I try a lot of skincare, and a lot of the time it's fine. And yes, it does what I want it to do, but is there always a noticeable difference between one and the other? Not for me a lot of the time. But this product, this Farmacy moisturizer, this was a noticeable difference to me. I don't have it because I used the entire thing up. That's how much I loved it. But for me, this is like my favorite moisturizer of all time. I'm definitely going to repurchase this when I've run out of my others, and that is really big for me because I have a whole drawer of moisturizers, and generally, you know, when I use one up, I enjoyed it and that's nice, and I move on to the next one. This one made me want to repurchase it and not to ever be without it. I love the packaging, I love the little spatula, but the product itself is the most just fresh, bursting, full gas of moisturization to the facial region I've ever experienced. You know, in winter here, we have our heating set to come on an hour before we get up or before we wake up, so that the house is warm when we get out of bed, when we're having our showers and all of that kind of thing. So a lot of the time, winter especially, I wake up and I feel parched because my skin has already been, you know, without skincare overnight, and now the heating's gone on and it's just drying out my skin. And I wake up feeling parched. With this moisturizer, I was waking up feeling hydrated, fresh, ready to start the day, and not parched and starving for moisturizer. I just think it's so just it's uber hydrating. Hydrating, I need a word that's above hydrating. Most moisturizers are hydrating. This is like something else. This is like hydruting. You know, it's hydruting. It hydrated me. There you go. There's a new word we learned today. We may have made it up. But yeah, my favourite skincare product of the year was that Farmacy Honey Halo. It's just chef's-kiss. Now, a kind of skincare item, I suppose, but this is my Gua Sha. So I got into Gua Sha this year. If you don't know what Gua Sha is, I'm the last person to give you actually a really effective description of it. There are far better, more informative articles and videos here on YouTube that you could watch by someone who really is an expert. And that's what I did when I learned about Gua Sha, which is a traditional Chinese practice of, I guess, skin scraping, facial scraping is the best description I can give you, using a tool. So I've seen amazing videos about the background of Gua Sha, and people who have memories of like their grandmas or their aunties who would like scrape their face with like a wooden spoon, and just whatever they had, whatever tool they had. It wasn't necessarily always a specific tool, but now obviously it's becoming more mainstream. Lots of people are learning and loving it and finding out about it, and it is just amazing. I think some of the benefits have kind of got lost along the way of it becoming this more mainstream thing that everybody is doing, and I think probably TikTok is slightly to blame here, that I've seen lots of videos of people like Gua Sha, and look, my face is half the size, and it's become almost like people think it's like almost an alternative to cosmetic surgery, and I don't know how much truth there is in that. What I use mine for, and what I love mine for, is like lymphatic drainage. So I do get really puffy in my face. I also really suffer with TMJ pain, which is like pain that you get mainly along like the jaw, but like around my ears, also sinus pain, and just puffiness in general. And that's what I use mine for. So I use this most of the time twice a day. And I just do it on clean skin with water. You could use a facial oil or whatever. You just want some slip. I just use water. And it has changed the game for me. I actually feel, I can feel when I need to do it now. I feel like, oh, my face is getting a bit tight. My face is getting a bit painful. And I'm just starting to feel my TMJ coming in again, or my sinuses are starting to feel. My face is looking a bit puffy. And I go in with my Gua Sha. And it's the most relaxing, amazing process to do. I just find it incredible self-care thing that I love to do now, and that I really enjoy. I thought it would be something that I'd do for a few weeks and get bored of it, but absolutely not. It's now part of my life and I love it, and it has made a huge difference to like my facial swelling and puffiness and water retention around there, but also the amount of pain that I have with my TMJ is massively reduced as long as I keep this up and I'm regularly using it. it's been life-changing. Next, let's talk about my favourite brow product this year. And this is the Rapidbrow Eyebrow Enhancing Serum. I've gone through, this is my second one and it's basically all but empty. This was gifted to me, but I will be repurchasing my third one because I can't live without it now. It has been incredible for not only the condition length of my eyebrows, but also new growth. Like I have my eyebrows laminated now every like 7 or 8 weeks. And my eyebrow technician comments every time, my God, like your eyebrow, the growth is insane. When I first started, they were really patchy and it was kind of a process to get them to where they are now. And 100%, this is the reason why I've had so much more new growth, healthier brow growth, and just more hair to play with when I get them laminated. Like 5 years ago, I had like half the brow hair I have now. One, I've left them alone. That's for sure made a difference. But in the last year, this has also really helped me regrow, just make my brows much healthier, take care of them during the lamination process, and I swear by it. My favourite nail polish of the year is the one that I'm wearing today. This is OPI's Destined to Be a Legend, and I just love everything about it. I'm a bit of a sort of nude neutrals nail lover kind of girl, and this I just feel like it's something different. It's like a blue and it's something a bit different and a bit more unique, certainly to what I usually prefer to wear, but it's still really muted and not intimidating. I don't find it super bright or off-putting in that way, and it goes with everything. It's not like over the top or garish or just too scary for me, although it is a blue, because it's got that like grey blue and it is just quite understated and soft. I feel like it's one of my go-to favourites, even though it's nothing like a neutral or a brown or a natural colour. It is just that hair bit out of my comfort zone, but in a way that I really love and I still feel like myself, and it's just really nice and unique and a bit fun. So there you have it. Those are all my non-makeup favourites from 2021. Please let me know what your non-makeup favourites are and were this year down in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and I'd love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.